This is such an important story, and I wanted to make sure that we got Chris Mitchell in on it. Joining us now from Jerusalem is our Middle East Bureau, Chris Mitchell. Chris, tell me what this means for the Netanyahu's political future.
Well, he's in for the political fight of his life, Pat. I talked to a major pollster not too long ago. He said the battle is on, and that was when the Blue and White Party was formed just a few days ago by retired General Benny Gantz and another Israeli politician, Yair Lapid. And right there, they actually had more votes than Netanyahu's Likud party. And it all comes down to the numbers, Pat. At that time, it was 36 to 29 for the Blue and White to Likud. Now, if the indictments come out, a recent poll said it would be 44 to 25. And what this does, if the indictments do come out, and we're expecting it probably any hour today, it will shift the political landscape to the left. And it might be that if the election results as it is today in the recent polls, Netanyahu would not be able to form a government. And it may be up to the Blue and White Party and retired General Benny Gantz, who you interviewed a little over 12 years ago on the Israeli border up in Lebanon after the 2006 Second Lebanon War.
I consider Benny a good friend. He was a brigadier general. He was in charge of the Northern Command. Now he's a retired chief of staff. Look, why do the Israelis want to consume their leaders? Well, what goes on in their minds on a thing like this?
It's a good question, Pat, and I think a lot of people over here think that Israel has its own version of the deep state. You could look at the left, you could look at the media and the police, or maybe the Justice Department, trying to unseat an elected official right now. It remains to be seen if Netanyahu doesn't win, if there's any other leader of his stature to be able to, be on the world stage. For example, just yesterday, he was up in Moscow negotiating with Vladimir Putin about the ability of Israel to push back Iran's military presence inside Syria. So it seems to be a coordinated effort, according to some people here, of Israel's deep state trying to undermine Netanyahu. It's really something they've been trying to do for years. We'll see what happens with these possible indictments and what impact it's going to have on the elections on April 9th.
Chris, thank you so much. And I'm sad because Bibi's a dear friend. Well, of course, Benny Gantz I consider a friend, too. It's been a few years, but we traveled together up into that territory. We each were flying helicopters, and we went down to the Hula Valley, and we had some interesting times together. So Benny's a good guy, but I don't understand. I'm a close friend of Bibi Netanyahu. I met him years after his brother was killed in that Entebbe raid, and he was a war hero, and Bibi was then studying in the United States. But in any event, I'm saddened to see this so-called deep state trying to take out important figures in the government.